Hello Fearless Gamers, Matt here for Fearless Games, and today we're going to be continuing on with the joy of painting minis, and we're continuing with Laddermore here. The last time we painted all of her blue armor, the base coat for the primary color that we will have for her. And so we're going to jump right in, and we're going to be using the following paints you see on your screen. And so what we're going to do now is we're going to give a blue wash to all this armor. This will help emphasize the crevices in her armor. It won't do like a dramatic job like some of the GW washes, but it will help with giving the model a more detailed look when it comes to the blue that we applied on here. So we're going to apply this on here. And so it's one thing that another thing that I like about the P3 paints is, I've mentioned this before in a previous video in like a review of the product, is the fact that this is Cote d'Arms makes P3 paints, and Cote d'Arms used to make the old Citadel colors, so it's nice to be working with primarily my original paint company that I was using when I was first introduced to wargaming, and also to see some of the old colors come back in a different form. And you can still actually go to their website and get a lot of the if you go to the Cote d'Arms paint, you can get some of the older colors. I actually have a jar of the old brass color, the old pink color from when back in the day when GW, during like 5th ed, when GW only believed that the only color in 40k was brown or black. And I needed it for my Harlequins. Rotting Flesh, which makes a great green for one of my other little projects that I have going. And so it was nice to be able to purchase these in the States. The only thing, like I said, is a little bit of a shame is these colors are not the same, not entirely the same as the other ones, so I have to go to the website if I want to get the older, like the older GW-like colors that I know. But it's nice to know that I can still get that for another game that I'm playing. It's nice to know that I can use the old brand company that I knew and loved back in the day. Surprisingly now with this, there's only going to be 2 more stages to painting up this blue armor. Once I finish this up, it's going to be adding a mid color and then a highlight, and it's not as it's not as precise as I usually do, like the 40k stuff. Like I said, I don't get super like precision and stuff like that when I do Warmachine models, mainly because, like I said, it doesn't need, I feel like you can do less and get the same effects as you do 40k models with Warmachine stuff. So that's, I think, again, why I enjoy painting these models so much, is I can do more in less time, and it just gives me a nice fresh breath of fresh air after I've been painting so many 40K models, which take like months to get done. So, got the wash done. So while I wait for that to dry, I'm gonna get started on her face for this model. And okay, so get the one and only flesh tone that I have, and then we will get started with doing her face. Okay. One thing that I am looking forward to and dreading at the same time is summertime. Now that summertime's coming around, I love the summertime because it's nice and warm. I don't have to deal with winter stuff anymore. I hate winter with a passion of 1,000 suns. But at the same time, I dread the summertime because of my Warhound Titan, because I don't have an AC, and I always worry that the heat's gonna ruin him, and then that's gonna be, you know, like money down the drain. So I'm like excited for summer because yay, warmer weather. I can have my windows open. I won't have to sit chilling, freezing, and praying that there's no snow because my car can handle the snow. But at the same time, I'm just like, oh, well, please don't let my Warhound, all my Forge World stuff, you know, buckle and break because there's too much heat going on. So, one hand, I really enjoy it, and the other hand, I dread it, but between the two, I actually prefer the summer. Another thing is also I'm just concerned about is doing my taxes because some issues with, there's going to be definitely an issue with how much I made versus some stupid government stuff that I had to deal with this year. So I'm not looking forward to that. Basically, I took a subsidiary and ended up mispredicting how much I made, and I made a lot more than I said I was, so I'm a little concerned with how that's going to be affected, especially since I was hoping to maybe put that money aside for some silly, stupid, ridiculous thing that I probably shouldn't spend it on. Alrighty, so we are ready for the next step, which is going to be painting a midtone on her. So I'm going to take the base color that I used for her blue armor and do a 1-part mix with the highlight color. And then that way we get a nice midtone, and I'm going to help paint up the color to try and help so there's not an extreme difference between the highlights and the bases and all that. And this is just a simple 1-to-1 mix, the two blue colors that we saw in the paint list, and it will make a nice medium blue tone. And then when I mix in with the the highlight won't jump out as much as it's going to if I didn't do a mixture. If there's any complaint that I had is sometimes I do this really well and it comes out phenomenal, and sometimes I just do this really terribly and it's like, why did I even bother? So we'll see how the results of this turns out in a moment. So let us dive right into this. So I'm going to take this, and the trick is figuring out where to put this midtone. On like these shoulder pads here, I like to do it on the outer edges, and work my way in a little bit. And then for like these rounded areas, I like to do inward and go outward. Now that I've gotten those two areas done, I'm gonna do like the edging of her boots. And do amongst the highlights. Boom. It's coming along nicely. Like I said, this is going to be fairly quicker than some of my other projects. Because it's just mainly because it's a simpler color scheme than the simpler than normally. And then there. Okay. No. There. So it's not going to be, like, it's just going to help make it a little bit less. Wow, that's a dramatic color change, and more of just a very more subtle color change. Okay. Then we just have to do this spot on her leg there.
The big variance in the radiation stream. I'm balancing it manually. Welcome to the Delta Plaza.
Okay, now just need to finish up the chest plate and then we'll be ready for the next step.
For a while there, I didn't think we were going to make it. There was a strange phase variance in the radiation stream. It almost kept us from pulling through. Mr. Tuvok, you may begin evacuation procedures.
I suggest we delay that for the moment. I'm afraid I found the means that is direct.
What is it?
Katherine.
Okay, so now she's set up. Now we can move on. We're going to do a flesh wash on her face here to help speed that along so we can get ready for that. It's best to do like essentially the simple tasks that take very little time but take a long time to dry. Then that way in between you do some of the more complex steps while you're waiting for that simpler step to dry. So go take my flesh wash, which is a shame it's not the exact same formula as the original Flesh Wash was, because I believe GW owns the rights to that particular mixture. But this is a nice replacement, though sometimes it appears more brown than anything. So, like I said, something really simple. Something simple that takes next to no time to wash. But will take a couple of minutes to dry. Okay, so we got the wash done. Now we can move on to finishing up the armor on her. Then her armor will be done, and then all I'll have to worry about is her hair, the brown patches, the brown padding on her armor, and the cape. And then then it will just be onto her arm. So, excuse me, let us get my blue highlight. And let's see, so now we got this. And so now what I'm going to do here is again, on like some of these rounded like cup edges, going to do spots on the spots of the center of the armor, because that's where the metal will have a more natural highlight. The tips of shoes. And dots. Little dots on her armor. Little clasps. And the rounded edges of the raised armor plates. This time around, I'd say it's the highlighting on this guy, on her, the blue, was a rousing success, I would have to say. Like, my best one, I think, personally, is my Hunter Jack. That one, I think, came out with the best looking, piece. So now we got this. Now, we make a tiny little mistake, but that's okay.
We've got a long way to go.
And then complete around. The only thing that I wish I had was a yellow wash from P3, because I really could use one for...
Tried a new hamstring exercise. Maybe I overdid it. But my workouts are about all that stand between me and a severe case of cabin fever. Lieutenant, I understand the concept. If you have something to say to me, please. I'm not the same.
So, let's see what happens.
I need the workout.
maybe I will help. Okay, so almost done.
I don't think we'll make a mistake of ignoring anything.
That's one of the things that it's tricky with the P3 paints is it's thinner. So you don't really have to water it down as much. And because of that, you have to be a little bit more careful when doing very detailed work. Okay.
Something of a personal nature. I would like a name.
Okay, and then just a little bit, just a tiny tad there. Here. One thing also I noticed with Warmachine is you got a lot more female characters in Warmachine than you do 40k. Like 40k has the Sisters of Battle, but they never really do much with them anymore. Yeah, it's a shame. They're a pretty interesting army if you ask me. I think they should do more with them. Yeah, there's the rumors that that they're all done and they're just waiting for a release date and all that, but that kind of stuff has been said for so long, it might as well be all fairy tales and myths if you ask me. Would it be cool if they came back? Oh, definitely. Would I buy them if they did? No. Sisters of Battle were not my thing, but the Starklord is a huge fan of the Sisters of Battle, and I'd love to see his army get some love that isn't just like a throwaway codex like the last one he got. Though, funny enough, the codex that they had, where everyone said the White Dwarf one, where everyone said it was garbage, ironically, before that codex came out, I used to roll over him pretty easily, and when that codex came out, the White Dwarf one, I have not been able to beat him. I don't know if this has changed with the Adeptus Sororitas one, because he's not relatively available for games, but I'd be curious to see how the new codex holds up and my luck against playing it. And so we are now done with that, and as we can see here, we're running low on time, so we won't do a whole lot of crazy stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to do some detail of highlighting her face. I'm going to take the same color that I used for her base, and this time just apply it to some choice areas, which mainly going to be the bridge of her nose, the forehead area, on her cheeks, lips. It's not going to give her makeup. And chin line here. There we go. Details. Now this is going to sound very weird, but I promise you that I'm being full on serious. If you want to get better at painting a face, honest and for truly, learn how to apply makeup. Because the highlights, because essentially, with makeup, you're highlighting the face with different colors, you know, blush, lipstick, eyeshadow, and all that other jazz. And so, with using, like, to learn how to learn, you don't have to get extensive, but like a basic understanding of makeup would dramatically improve the look of highlights on any type of face, guy, girl, because you'll get a better understanding of just like how you would highlight the face a little bit easier. And it would have and it would basically just make easier, because if you also, say if you get like a practice face, like yourself, if you have no one else around, then you're not going out for the rest of the day, a sister or mother or something, someone that helped. Like, if you have a sister or something that does makeup a lot, be great to ask them for advice on how to do it, because if you can learn that, that would dramatically improve your ability to add highlights and the whatnot to a model, because you'll be able to use, because the skill is transferable. Personally, if you ask me, like, that's how I do a little bit of my paint here. I used to do stage theater in school, and so I had to learn how to apply makeup to myself so I could be seen on stage and not look like white as a sheep. And so right now, giving her the lifeless doll eyes, which are basically just two black orbs. And then when we come back, we will add some life to those eyes and work on some finishing touch-ups, because this is almost done. So that is all for right now. Thank you all for watching, and until next time, fearless gamers, take care.